To apologize to the Russians for pronouncing these two words that I'm about to say, my goodbyes, with. My goodbye is directed to all the subscribers who are about to unsubscribe. I would like to say Das Vidania or Paka, which is goodbye in Russian. I've always wanted to tell my story past like 2015, 2016, 2017, then 2018, which of course most of the year I wasn't working in 2018, and then I started working again in 2019, 2020, 2021, up until now. I wanted to tell that story, but then I realized I wanted to tell that story for healing, of which I'm on a journey to. I don't want to go back and dig up my feelings of some I have tried to move past. So I'm thinking, no, I don't want to tell the story. And I had the conversation with my baby sister, and I said, what do you think of me constantly thinking this is the best thing to do for me to tell my story? Because I've been sharing that I have suicidal thoughts, and my suicidal thoughts are still triggered, but now they've been lowered. I no longer get the headaches that I used to get in 2020 and 2021. I no longer have the back pain. I'm just like literally lighter and better. I no longer every day cry myself to sleep and then cry when I wake up and realize I'm still alive. I no longer have that. And I thought to myself, then why tell the story? I've already shared all these parts. Why share that part? And I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to share this story. I'm going to give myself time to let it go. But if over the months or over the years, I still feel like perhaps I should tell the story, even though I don't want to, then maybe I will. But for now, I don't want to tell the story, and I will not be telling the story. And my cousin, of course, this is triggered by my cousin. This conversation was triggered by my cousin asking me if I hate teachers. And this brings me to the second part of the story. I don't hate teachers. In fact, I have the fondest memories and the fondest, I've put teachers on a pedestal. In fact, I am a daughter to a retired teacher. And my mother, I idolized her through her job for the things she has done. I remember living in where she used to work in a primary school, and I lived there for 2.5 years. And I remember adults would stop me and tell me like the great things that my mother has done for them and their kids. They would tell me that about kids that are already in university and how they believed it was impossible to put their kids through university, but my mother would make it so possible for them. And that the kids would say that they want to do my mother proud, they wanted to know where they are and their successes. And I remember being in Margate, and this really, really good looking young man. And at the time I was a teenager, like I was like maybe 14 or 15. And this really good looking man who was with a lovely lady, who shouted at my mom and was like running towards my mom, grown man, and running towards my mom. And he was like so happy to see my mom. And she is, of course, his former teacher. So for me, that's how I know teachers. Like that's embedded in my memory, in my DNA. I know teachers through my mom's and her colleagues, as a teacher's daughter. And I know them through school. Teachers have obviously been great and kind. I know them as kind and sympathetic souls, that part of the community. I remember being at school and our teachers being literally part of the community they taught it. And that's how I see teachers for me. That's how I see teachers. Like if you work in a certain community, you are part of that community, and you respect that community. You see them in a different light, and they see you in that like kind of like happy, joyful sort of system. And that's how I know teachers. But of course, the transition pursuing a career in teaching, and I guess it's best to not see how the sausage is made, I guess. I don't know how to say this. Like, perhaps it's a different generation now, and I am, as Dr. Malinga have said, perhaps you have moved on and to new idols. Maybe now I idolize something different, and teachers are just not that for me anymore.